trippy stuff. Like so
That's right.
trippy stuff. Yeah, we're live here on
That's right. That's right.
YouTube, and it's going. The trippy music is going, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
turn that off. I could have done that smoother, you guys. I have to practice my DJ skills. But we are live. Gwen and Grace are live on Soul Play. And one thing that we're excited about is, Grace, what's the announcement? Tell them. What's the news?
What news? What are we talking about?
Monetized.
Oh, that particular news. Yes, we've been monetized, everyone. Woo! We appreciate everyone who has watched, everyone who's participated. We love people, leaving messages, leaving notes, giving us feedback. We love all that. We want more of that in the future. Definitely more of that. And so, yeah, so that's what we want. We want this channel to bloom into a community where people feel like they can talk with us and communicate with us, and we can support each other and be there for each other. And I
think I just heard your dogs running upstairs, Grace.
Yeah, I've got a couple of really big dogs that are just full of energy, and they like to wrestle with each other and all that jazz. So if you hear anything like that, just know it's them. They're doing their thing.
It's like a rumble. It's like thunder.
Yeah. It is. That's what it sounds like down in the basement with them. And they're just wrestling and running back and forth, doing their thing. So,
yeah. So
that might happen.
We appreciate everyone who makes comments, who writes something that they got from, watching something that we've produced and we've shared. And so thank you, everyone who does that. I know sometimes people like to keep quiet, but we sure do love some feedback.
We do. We really love it. So, yeah. We want to encourage everyone to do that in the future, and, even say, hey, I'm interested in this type of thing. And, that might be something that we're interested in doing, and
talking
about covering, or, a certain type of meditation or whatever it may be. And it might be something that we actually are, creating or are thinking about creating. So, yeah.
Another big awesome thing is that I've redone my website, and everyone can go to www.gwenjuvenile.com and check it out, where you can kind of get the feel of some of what we do. We produce a lot of beautiful, deep, soulful things, a lot of meditations and different things, but we really want to encourage and it's kind of a blast out to the world saying, this doesn't have to be a treacherous, arduous task when we come to ourselves, when we open to our souls and we explore, right? There are some times when we face things that sometimes we want to hide from, but as we do so bravely and in kind of an essence of play, we discover beautiful gifts within ourselves. And it's something that we are all I don't know, we all have the birthright to do. Like there's not one of us that doesn't have, the birthright to be able to explore and open to our deep natures. So
and allow ourselves to be curious. That's a part of that essence of opening up and being curious, being willing to experience new things, to wonder, to question, to have fun, to forgive ourselves, forgive others. And those is all part of the whole process. So
no forgiveness.
Let's have fun. No forgiveness. No. I've been reading the book Letting Go by Hawkins, and it just kind of signified to me, even though I worked on letting go, I'm like, wow, there's still a lot of stuff there for me. There's still a lot of stuff. Wow, I still have more to learn about letting go and allowing our emotion, the emotions that we've stored inside of our bodies to flow freely to be able to transform into something beautiful, into something new, into a new understanding of ourselves and those around us. So, yeah.
Well, I love you say something new, because the topic that we're talking about today is our principles of revelation, and this topic came through my guides. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
my guides that are present with me. We're sitting here and we're like, okay, we're gonna go live. What are we gonna talk about? What are we gonna chat about? And they're like, principles of revelation. I'm like, really? Well, tell me about principles of revelation. And
Yeah.
they're like, we'll tell you when you're live. And they also just said, Gwen, you know about principles of revelation. They kind of smirked, like, you think you don't
Mm-hmm.
know about principles of revelation? But I was sitting here and heard the words, and open into something new, and being with the amount of revelation that's been coming through me in the last week or so. And it's just been tremendous. And a part of it comes through my dedication of certain questions, or asking to see certain things in my life.
In other words, allow things to be revealed to you, to see things anew, to understand things in a new light. I think the
Yeah,
word revelation sometimes has an interesting history, that word
yeah,
to us, and we're thinking about it in that term, instead of say specifically a religious term, which it can be used in that way as well. But we're saying everyone has the capacity to receive revelation. Everyone is capable of it. Everyone basically, well, I wouldn't say deserve is the right word. It's just innately we can. It simply is a part
yeah.
of our nature.
Well, this is another word that I use. We talk about birthright. You and I,
Hmm.
the word that I just used earlier. I think it's an
Yeah.
innate birthright that we have to enter into revelation. And I originally took, when I think of the word revelation, I take it in that kind of spiritual way. But, no matter how we feel we're receiving, or we're entering into revealing something for ourselves, whether we think it's from outside or from inner, both of them may be true at once at the same time. But however we see that, I think the first thing that we claim is that we have the birthright to ask. We have the birthright to see something in a new way. And to bring light to something.
And
So,
that would be like the number one principle is everyone can do this. Everyone has the right. Everyone has the
yeah,
capability of doing this. Yeah.
yeah. And some people, asking a question like that, perhaps some of us have been entrained for us to feel guilt or shame surrounding that. Like, oh, we shouldn't ask a question like that. So, this is another thing that you can receive revelation on, is, where's that coming from? Why do you feel stopped? Why do you feel stopped to feel like you don't have that right for
Yeah.
revelation?
Yeah,
You
and I
don't
think
have
that
that.
that's something that basically society, or historically through a certain family or religion or culture might bring up. In someone where I don't have the right, I don't want to waste someone's time. Oh, that person is more important, or that thing, or God, or
Yeah.
that being that has more knowledge, or if you're willing to go inward, oh, I can't ask that question because I'm scared of what the answer is, or maybe I'll get the wrong answer, or I don't know what's going to really happen if I ask that question. And I look further
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
my question, what my question is, or the dilemma that I'm in, and that I want further insight in, or more power to be able to resolve and move on in my life, or just to make my life just a more beautiful experience for myself, even.
I had this sensation as you were speaking, this idea, this inner me, stepping into a version of me where it's like if I ask that question, then who knows what will happen in my life. If I just keep quiet, maybe God will take care of me, right? And it will be okay. maybe the bad thing, the thing that I don't think I can solve, maybe it'll just be taken care of. Ooh, look at that little Gwen there. that's
Here,
that's
yeah.
employing that tactic of, it's like, I'll just take that bigger thing that has more understanding, let that take care of it, because I could just mess things up, right? You
Hmm.
know, and that, another thing, that may be one of those blocks of us being able to ask the questions. And it's when I try to do something, I just mess things up, right? My
Yeah.
questioning might mess things up. So, what an amazing thing to look into and see if there are these blocks surrounding it. So, once
Here,
again, yeah.
yeah, yeah. These are kind of the things that we can pay attention to, the resistance and what kind of things we're telling ourselves, what beliefs we might have. One principle that came to mind, let's call it principle number 2, maybe. See what you think about this, Gwen, is the principle
Okay.
that revelation.
I'll judge it. I'll score it.
You can judge it. You can tell me what you think about this. True revelation. I'm trying to think of the word, empowers an individual and helps them claim their role, their creative role in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Mm-hmm.
that right? I'm trying to think of the right phraseology, the right phrase to use here. But
I love that.
but true revelation empowers the individual to be able to be a part of creating their life, not someone up there just make everything the way it's supposed to be, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
no, receiving information and then taking on that responsibility of what I'm going to do with that information, what I'm going to do with what I'm receiving, how I'm going to use it in my life.
I think I'd make a slight adjustment to this
Okay, yeah,
statement. And
yeah,
yeah,
we're working
I would
through these
say, see,
principles.
I'm a Buddhist. You guys, everyone's going,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm coming more
So,
from
so
the
I would,
Christian background here with that statement
I
that I was
would,
making.
yeah, I would say that what feels more natural for me is actually true revelation helps us see the true nature of all that is and how
Mm.
we can act within it in a natural way so that we're not fighting
Ooh.
against, we're actually moving in the
Mhm.
true nature of what is. And
Mhm.
a part of that true nature, of course, of what is we have choice. We
Yeah.
do have choice. We have choice of what we put our attention on. We have choice of being able to see or release patterns. We have a choice of being able to choose love and compassion or not to choose love and compassion. We have a choice to be able to open to more light, more intelligence, or to close off. We
Mhm.
have so much choice. So, number one, I think it honors choice, but it also honors true evolution, has a tendency to honor the natural reality of nature, because a part of that nature reality is we're a part of a whole environment. We're a part of a collective experience, a group experience, and we're a part of a natural sequence where things ebb and flow, where things become bright and new, the seasons, shifts, and changes that occur. We can honor the different phases of our life. We can see into and gain more perspective. It helps us gain more perspective. I think that would be one of the main principles is
So
it
one
gains
of the other
we
principles.
gain yeah, we gain a wider, more clear perspective, and we are able to, within that, we're able to own our choice in a more natural way because we have a wider perspective, I would
Yeah,
say.
I like the way you phrase that in those two principles there. I think, yeah, there we go. Well, we kind of uncovered a few more of those principles. Where do we want to go from here, Gwen?
Oh no, I'm excited because I I think what I opened with was me asking questions or wanting to see into something, and how I come about that is, so it's through my dedication, what I'm dedicated to. So I'm dedicated to studying more and really seeing into the wisdom perhaps of the story of the Buddha. And a part of that story is, you talk about samsara, you talk about suffering, you talk about the poisons. And as I look into, and I'm with my guides, and I'm in this, and I'm dedicated to understanding more clearly what truly being with the poisons and truly healing myself from these poisons, what it looks like, that's when it's invited in, and I get to start having new experiences that will help me see or will reveal the principles that are ready to be revealed to me, right? So
Through
part of
that
this,
new understanding and going through that process of being okay with going into the shadows, with going
yeah,
into those things that might not be the most pleasant things for some people, or just even a new way of looking at something that people are not necessarily comfortable with at first. But Gwen definitely is practiced in going there. You know what I mean? And that's something that more and more people are getting more comfortable with. Is going through that process. Being able to go into the shadow and come out on the other side with more light and a new perspective. Hawkins talks about this
yeah,
beautifully. I think it's in chapter 3, but he
mm-hmm,
beautifully mentions this aspect of, we cannot be scared of, say, for instance, the emotions that are trapped inside of us, because when we go through that and allow that to be released and we come out the other side, there are many
mm-hmm,
people that have incredible enlightenment experiences of enlightenment, new
yeah,
understanding, new empowerment. And in fact, some people come out and they have new gifts that have been
mm-hmm,
bestowed upon them because they have been willing to go through and process some. They might have some traumas or different experiences that they need to process. And once they do
mm-hmm,
that, they are left with a gift. They're
mm-hmm.
empowered at that point. They have received revelation and a new understanding of what they possess and how they can benefit themselves and other people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think you bring up something really beautiful, and gosh, we jumped in deep in that statement. You know,
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
going through these dark things. I think one important principle with that revelation is walking in holding that these principles of revelation as we do so. Some people, they're afraid to, or they stay in these emotional choices, but they're gripping onto them. They're continuing to confirm the trauma. It's like they're trying to confirm it over and over again. And how do we do that? We do it through blame. We do that through continuing to choose separation. We don't let go. We don't let go and
Anger.
open to the illumination that's ready to be there. We don't
Mm-hmm.
walk through it or allow it to flow through so that we find the inner illumination. And
Yeah.
that inner illumination is the revelation. It is revealed. That is what is revealed to us, is our inner illumination, and the illumination of what may be considered the all that is connected to us, all that, perhaps our higher selves, our guides, the people that we love, or
Mm-hmm.
some can say all that is, right? All
It,
that
it's
is.
it's kind of an it's kind of a natural if you think about this idea of, say, you have this container, and inside this
Yeah.
container you have all this mist, and this gray mist, and we'll say that
Yes.
these are different emotions and dark things you're dealing with, and thoughts that society has fed to you, and all this stuff, right? And as you are able to release and go through them, then right in the center is actually a light bulb, and it's you, and it's bright, and it's light, and it's beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not tainted by all this mist that's around it. It is true light, true power, and the more we can allow that gray cloud to dissipate and to escape, you might say, the more we can see the light. the more moments we have where we go, wow, I feel what I possibly truly am, or at least a part of what I truly am, or more of what I truly am. I can understand and connect more with everything that is surrounding me because I have the space to do it. It's not, my space isn't being filled with anger or disgust or
Yeah.
sadness or shame, whatever it may be. And so I
Mhm.
have more and more moments where I can see the light and I can see more of that truth, because I've allowed that to dissipate. I've allowed that to leave and to transform into something different.
Yeah. I
Does
love
that
what you're
make sense?
talking about these mists. In my lovely journeys, uh, a lot of times, what happens is, you enter into the mist and then it opens up. And in that opening up, there's this space for clarity. There's a space for revelation that occurs. Um, but I've literally been going through this beautiful alchemic process. I call it beautiful now because I feel like I'm really on the other side of it going through it. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, it's like always the new learning experience of how do I allow this? How do I let this go? How do I hold it in love? How do I embrace it in love and greet it in love? Right. And just going through this deep, deep process, but coming in on the other side, it feels just like that. I mean, it literally has felt like for quite a long time, I've been processing through this immense deep, doing this immense deep shadow work that feels like as big as going across the whole freaking universe. I mean, it's just like immense, immense, and
Mhm.
it's just like amazing to feel like it come and finally move through my system. And suddenly I'm like, wow, there's so much clarity right now, so much clarity. And it's not like the angels and everything's white and I can't see anything. It's clarity, it's definition. There's more definition. And so I
Mhm.
can define, I can see into the details, the complexity, the beauty of all of the stuff that's happening and being involved, right? And so it's not like illumination and the light that we can be in many different spaces of experience of it. But to me, one of the cool gifts that I'm feeling that's just so sweet and so lovely is clarity. Is like I literally feel like my whole head is just this clear ball of it's like, and there's a braid in there, but it's like I can see, like my vision, I can see all around, and there's all these things that are happening that are interacting in my sphere of existence, right? And
Mhm.
it's so cool. I mean, who would have thought? And I'm not telling you people that this is the moment of clarity and that's what's going to feel like, but for Gwen right now, that's me being in clarity. It's like I've got a big bull head and it's just one big eye, but it's many eyes, and there's so much that is connected to me. But as I focus and as I look in on it, there's such beautiful clarity. I can really hone in and I can see what I'm looking into, right? And
Yeah.
when we're stuck and we're working with all this shadow work, a lot of times we're like, we can't see what we're looking at. It's difficult to know what we're looking at. So part of me feels so blessed. And so it's coming through because we're talking about principles of revelation.
Well, that would be
My
one of
guides are
them.
coming in. One of my,
Revelation can be clarity. That is one
yeah,
of the what that is one of the ways that we experience revelation.
yeah,
Let's see what they have to say.
yeah. But they're like, they're coming up with something really funny because they're like, one principle of revelation is actually grace. Grace. Let's do a dance for grace. Now,
Woo! No,
it's
that is
actual it's actual grace, and
yeah.
so it's leaning on beyond the small self. It's leaning into and asking for assistance for that clarity,
Mm-hmm.
for that clarity to come. And there's a part, and it's too, they're coming in and they're like, this is where faith comes in, Gwen, your old Christian background, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that whatever intelligence comes through, whatever comes through in your gnosis, where it comes through now, like, I know this is true for some reason, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is true. This is my path. This is the next step forward. That is actually faith. It's actually you confirming your inner intelligence and truth. And as you do that and you take action in it, it actually
That's
brings forward more of that clarity,
right.
more of that knowing. As we act and we step forward in this, even if it's a small amount of knowing,
Mm-hmm.
then we increase our knowing. We're stepping forward and we're allowing it to open further and further and further within ourselves. That's
So,
really cool. Thanks, guys.
so it's that relationship between grace and faith, action. And
Mm-hmm.
as we continue that process, then we gain more and more
Mm-hmm.
information and clarity and power to
Yeah.
be able to do what we desire and, you know, and accomplish what we
Mm-hmm.
want to with our life and actually have the experience that we're desiring to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And I've been noticing a few people hopping on and off. Thanks for joining us. And if you have a feeling of a principle of revelation that you would love to share, please make sure to write a little comment below. Or if you appreciate one specific one that you're hearing or you're hearing as we chat. So
I love
again, this yeah.
I just wanted to bring, okay, yeah, for everyone, please comment. We love that. No, I was,
We
I'm
didn't plan
thinking,
this. We just jumped on.
I'm feeling into that concept of grace with revelation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, this idea of us being in this space, or at least a lot of us at some point in our life and where we're at, in a space where we are feeling that separateness. We are not feeling connected to revelation and feeling trapped, feeling
Mm-hmm.
less than, and understanding the beauty of grace, the beauty of asking, and the immense amount of love and benevolence, grace, you might call it, that this universe holds for everyone, no matter what you have done or experienced in your life. It is there for you. And that's a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing to know that that's there and that we all can ask. We all can. So I just want to encourage everyone to be
Oh,
willing to do that, to be willing to say, okay, and there are many ways to ask. Many people have understood the principle of prayer. Some might sit and meditate. There are many different ways in which we can ask for that grace to help
yeah.
us, to open us up into understanding our life in a new way, to finding the joy and the connection that's truly there waiting for us, that's just waiting for us. And it's not something that we have to go run to find, and it's not hiding somewhere. It is literally everywhere. It is all around us. And we might simply need a little help sometimes to open us up to experiencing that, to understanding that. And yeah, I'll say that's required for me all the time. Grace is required for me. Yes, my name is Grace, and I need grace every day of my life. I need it. And I think that brings a little humility to be open enough to be able to receive new information. It helps us be humble when we go through the motion of asking for or having that intention of asking for grace, asking for something that is more than us, or at least more than our ego, right? To help us, to help guide us, to help remind us of what is is here already for us.
Mm. I love that. There were two things that came to mind, just jumped out as you were talking, and one of them is a principle. It's not just applicable, I think, to revelation, but it's also just a principle of this life experience, this experience of living. My guides talk about it and they use the word genome, but it's, beyond the solar system, our universe, all of this 3D experience of having a physical body, all of this, that one of the principles is that we are living in a responsive universe, that it responds to our intelligence and our intent and our intention. And it responds in many ways. And as we play with this and we understand what that is, we understand that what we sow, we reap, basically. We start to really understand what that means in a real energetic soul level of what I sow, I reap. And what I invite into life, it becomes a part of my life. It becomes my life. And so I think there's a real principle there that's really beautiful that we can lean on. And also another thing that I just thought was so beautiful, something that I recognized, is that that goes along with that, is that when I am learning and I am inviting, not just for my own soul's sake, but for the sake of others, then it increases the power behind what I receive, because the dedication is there. The dedication for my soul, for my deep soul, but also for the deep soul, the souls of others. And so as I've gone into training in the Buddhist fellowship, for me to be a part of kind of clergy, I guess you could say, and really study and me being able to sit up and do a talk in front of these people, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, oh my gosh, these people are going to sit in front of me. I've been in the audience, in the group. I know what people are. They sit and their hearts are open. They're listening deeply. What are the words that are going to come through? Can I really speak as the voice of the Buddha? Do I really know what his words mean? What these words mean? Do I really understand how to free myself from pain and suffering? Do I really understand the principles? Do I really know what it is to mean that we don't attain enlightenment? We already are enlightenment. It's revealed to us. This is revelation. What already is there is revealed as we acknowledge it and we are with it and we ask, can you open to us a little bit more? Can I experience myself in my truly natural enlightened state that's already there? This is a part of the beauty of revelation. We don't have to make it happen. It's already there, and it's simply being opened unto us. It goes against so many of the Western, people's minds on the Western hemisphere, because we're taught we have to make it happen. We have to create it. But with revelation, it is simply revealed to us, and we step into the truth of what is.
Mm-hmm. Which is already there. I think that's beautifully said. Wow. It flies against, well, and also in this Western culture, we are very much into past, present, future. We are very much into that timeline. And with the Buddhism, and we're dealing with a a idea of a uniform time. We're dealing with a different idea of what time is and what is possible. You know, and
Yeah.
so pondering that and understanding that more fully can help us let go of the Western culture idea of past, present, future. We do something, there's results, blah, blah, and all this and that. And especially that idea that I think that has been really ingrained in a lot of us, that in order to get something good, we have to work freaking hard.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between us having an intention and taking our steps daily to be able to grow and open up more and more. There's a difference between that and someone working their butt off and thinking that they have to have these traumatic experiences. They have to go through.
They have to have blood, sweat, and tears and all
Yeah,
that.
all this
Yeah.
machination. I'm willing to go through whatever is required, but whatever may come, but that doesn't mean it's required.
Mm-hmm.
Some person can sit down and meditate for the first time and reach enlightenment. They can. It is possible. You can't say, oh, that's not fair. They didn't spend 50 years or whatever. They didn't do this and that and the other. No.
Well,
We,
we don't know really how many lifetimes and whatever is all back
exactly.
behind that. But
They had, yeah.
the point is, it's already there, and we can, in Buddhism, one phrase kind of is, enlightenment is, in a way, it's an accident, and sitting and meditating and doing the work is you becoming accident prone.
Mm.
It's you becoming, so you're putting yourself into the space, you're putting yourself into, the connection, and which would help you be accident prone. It's kind
Yeah.
of you trip on it in a sense, because in a way we're so heavily grasping so often, and it's a letting go, and you in your awareness recognizing and being
Mm-hmm.
with yourself and aware as you let go, and you are in this intimacy, this great intimacy of all things. And that's what we talk about too. Another way of saying enlightenment is really being in this great intimacy of what is, and recognizing and simply being as a part of the dance of it, and knowing that you are the dance, and you are all
Mm-hmm.
of the dance, and you are a part of it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not cutting yourself from all of the expressions and all of the experiences that await you and are ready, but just ready to unfold, right?
That's a beautiful way of expressing that, Gwen. It reminded me of a principle that I've heard from many different people. It's this idea of we need to give ourselves the space to be with ourselves, to be in a space that is open and ready for whatever is next for us to experience, whatever next for us to be able to process, whatever it may be. The most important thing is simply allowing or creating that space. And then things naturally flow from that. And so I guess one principle of revelation would simply being is making sure that we allow ourselves or we create the space for it to
Mm-hmm.
happen if and when it is needed and
Yeah.
required in our life.
Well, and I think you chatted about that at the beginning, which was really beautiful. And we can talk about spaces in a space where we sit down, and the energy is, this is the space where I sit and I'm with myself, and I ask those questions, or I simply am with my body and my awareness. But also, as we do that, we create space within ourselves, because we start seeing into and releasing these ideas or thoughts of what we think we are or what we have to be, and they start
Mm-hmm.
falling and dropping, right? And then this is the space. where suddenly something is revealed. It's this beautiful space of the natural, heartfelt questions that are deep within us start to bubble forward, and they're met. They're just met. And it's like, oh, suddenly this new idea or this new way of looking at it comes in. And this, of course, I love partially because I am a channeler, and my guide suddenly will step in. The other day, I just had this most beautiful thought that just came through me, and it was like, but it was like a confirmation in of itself. It was like, oh my God, the earth is this one of the most central points in the universe and beyond of the feminine birthing ability. Like, this is a most unique space because we have this creative power here in this most particular way that is so unique everywhere. It was just this beautiful, like, oh my God, this honoring of the feminine and the unique expression of what Earth is. But it was a question, and I knew it was already answered in that revelation, in that same awe. It was like this, oh, wow, and it's like you couldn't even separate the question from the answer in a way. It was just
Yeah.
there. They were there together as one, right? But we have a tendency to separate the question from the answer, but they're together as one. And it was just so beautiful to feel that. And that, to me, is one of the beautiful spaces of truly feeling revelation. It's like, oh, wow, it's an awe. It can be this awe-inspiring thing, and it could be even as simple as looking in the river, and suddenly it's like, oh, whoa, what is and something comes forward that's just the beauty of all of the connectedness of what is, just jumps forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're being all animated and
Yeah, yeah. I think sometimes people have this idea of what revelation looks like, right?
yeah,
Oh, is this serious thing? Thou shalt do this or whatever, right? But revelation comes in all types of forms. It can
mm-hmm.
affect your body. It can influence the way you're expressing yourself. It can be something fun. It can be something that just brightens your day, that helps
Mm-hmm.
you be able to live your life just in a with a little more fun, with a little more energy and passion, maybe, right? So and it could be something that's like this, or like, whoa, you know what I mean? It can be so
Yeah,
so we don't have to discount experiences that we have as not being a revelation, because, oh, it
yeah,
didn't look a particular way. Let's be open to really being grateful for the variety of types of experiences that we have in our lives, because isn't this life about learning and growing, experiencing something in a new way?
yeah,
Otherwise, what the heck am I doing here? Frankly, you know what I mean. So the idea is wow, let's allow ourselves to be grateful. Give ourselves a moment to be grateful for whatever it is, whatever new this to that, that we're experiencing, and anything that lightens us, that gives us hope, that allows us to have peace, that gives us a new understanding, that allows us to approach whatever challenge we might have in a new way. All of these things are revelation, and they bless our lives, and let's recognize them for that.
yeah. No,
That's my
I'm
thought.
appreciating. Yeah, I'm appreciating seeing all who are visiting. And once again, if you know of a principle of revelation that's really you feel dear to you, write a comment. Or if one of these things that we're talking about touches you, just let us know. One thing that jumped out at me too, you're talking about gratitude, and I feel all this celebration and joy surrounding this topic, which is so interesting, which my guides told me to talk about. But one thing that I'm seeing into is this movement and this gratitude increases the flexibility of our viewpoint. it helps us be more malleable and be able to look into a new view. And that is revelation. We're A new view is being revealed as we're willing to step 5 inches one other way, even if it's minutely, or it could be a leap. It could be you step into across the room and you look back in and you're like, oh, wow, I suddenly see some mechanics that I didn't before. I suddenly see, the relationship, what's happening in a new way. I see a broader view. Wow, suddenly I see this in a new way and I feel so appreciative. Oh, I see how I was fighting so much here, but oh my gosh, if I just lean back a little bit, I can see that this person's just going through this, and I can see that, yes, they're making choices, but I'm feeling that, oh, it's going to shift this way a little bit, or they're wanting it to shift this way, but I'm just kind of in the way. I've been in the way of that shift occurring. And so knowing that we can have that flexibility and that adaptability to step into new viewpoints of things, look at them from new perspectives. This is revelation. This is a revealing of ourselves. And we don't have to be stuck, as in Buddhism. Zen Buddhism talks a lot about dukkha and being stuck, the wheel being stuck, and we can't see, we can't move, we can't go through the natural cycles of life because we're stuck. It's like one of these beautiful things that I think is a part of revelation, is one of the principles of revelation is allowing ourselves that space and that movement to be able to step into a new viewpoint.
Yeah. I'm kind of going to delve into this gratitude principle for a moment, which I thought you expressed really beautifully. But I wanted to add the idea that, there are so many spiritual leaders out there and different religions and different groups and so forth that have discussed the principle of gratitude. And gratitude is something, as you've mentioned, that we can really integrate into the process of revelation as we are experiencing that revelation. But one thing that has been taught in many different disciplines and ways of thinking is that gratitude itself can actually help us step into the revelation itself. If we can simply say, I am going to be in gratitude. It is hard for me right now to see what I can be grateful for, but I am going to step into, or I'm going to learn the discipline of being grateful every day, and I'm going to practice that. And as we step into the gratitude, then revelation opens up to us. That flexibility that you talked about appears. Gratitude is a stepping stone to revelation, and it is something that we can actually allow ourselves to remind ourselves to experience after the fact, or while we're having the revelation also, to continue that flexibility through our life, to be able to experience that revelation on a more consistent basis, right? So it can jumpstart revelation, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. I love that way, that jumpstart revelation, because if I'm looking at it, I love mechanically looking at something. Gratitude is an acknowledgement and a yes to receiving. It's a yes to receiving. And if we're saying yes to receiving, then what's happening? The floodgates are opening. We are feeling that receptivity, and we can receive. We're opening. Oh, we've got a beautiful comment from Freedom to Speaker Breh. I'm wondering if that's like,
I'm assuming that this is them being humorous here in their idea of revelation. And what they consider revelation is talking about, percentage of a certain type of man, being violent and so forth. And, everyone, it's funny because people will have these revelations, their own personal revelations. And I can have a different revelation concerning that too, a very different from the opposite side. And we can both be quite passionate about that revelation, can't we? But yeah, we
I
have
love
to
that there's a little angel halo
there's a
around
little
that.
angel halo. We can, we can be passionate about that. I think one principle of revelation is the fact that that revelation is for us personally, where we are in our situation, with the combination of everything that's happened in our lives and the next step that we're going through and so forth. And to think that somehow our revelation is is all knowledge and all truth, and that everyone should have that same truth and view it in exactly the same way is unrealistic, to say the least.
Yeah.
At least that's what I found in the world today. But
Well, I marvel that there's so many different people, going on different journeys on the earth
mm-hmm.
at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think it's pretty amazing that, that there is, that the crime is as low as it is, if you think about it in that way. There's so many people living so many different realities at the same time. But I think a general consensus of compassion and us realizing we want to be able to walk our path and we want to allow others to be able to walk their path, I think is an essential, part of the recipe of helping things be in the somewhat equanimity surrounding
Mm-hmm.
us, recognizing that the value of human life is so important. The value of our journeys are so important to us that, us walking through and us unraveling the different patterns, the different systems, the different thoughts, the different that we were entrained, probably handed down from parents for a long, long time. It's really a process that I wouldn't, we don't want to hand off to someone else, because the gold is for us, right? It's our gold that we get to walk through. We get to walk through and discover and walk ourselves into the true love that we truly are, the truth that's there, that inner light. And whereas this revelation, which I think is cute, and I think it's ironic, it's an ironic revelation about sending people back to where they came from, is actually, if we're able to be with it and go deep, a lot of this comes from a sense of pain and wanting to protect. And us being able to be with that and walk through it in love, and then actually open and come into our light and own our empowerment and let go of this feeling of fear, let go of this feeling of doubt, of having to distract ourselves from a lot of the outer things that are happening out here, and really being in this inner sense of coming to ourselves in love, I think is so profound and so powerful. And I think revelation is a part of that, a part of the revelation that we can be having and asking, just like I was asking earlier, was in my experience, was surrounding what are the poisons? If we are truly natural, enlightened, if we truly are this natural, beautiful piece of all that is and all that is, what are these poisons that come forward? What does that mean? And how have they infected me in my life? And am I trying to chase after the snake that bit me? Or am I really being with the poison and knowing how to create that anti-venom, knowing how to pull that poison out of me, and truly showing compassion to myself and also showing compassion to all around me? So this is a part of the process that I've been going through, and kind of the dedication of knowing, what is that? What does that look like? What is that process of truly coming in compassion back to myself? And instead of increasing the venom and striking out at others, am I able to bring it back and create that anti-venom, or pull that venom out of me and recognize my purity and my love? Am I am I able to do that? Ultimately, with grace, with all of these principles in mind, I think so far there's a lot of yeses that are happening with me. Doesn't mean it's an easy journey, right? Doesn't mean it's like, all cake and ice cream, but there's so much joy as a part of it that I get to experience as I walk through that and ask for and open to revelation.
I think boom. Is that the end? Is that the end, Gwen? No, I just wanted to mention this idea of looking at others and we're all on our own path, you mentioned, and so we're all in this process of revealing what we truly are. This process of revelation, right?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it might be easy for us to look at others and go, well, they have it easy. They have it figured out, or they're this, or they're messed up, or whatever it may be, right? Or why is this particular thing so easy for them? Why, what's wrong with me? Or, and it's this recognition, or just this, oh gosh, I'm just trying to think of the right term. Just this understanding, this piece of knowing that it's okay, because we're all going to eventually learn what we wanted to learn.
Yeah.
Right? But all of our journeys are different. And it's not our job to
make them the same.
Make them the same, or think that somehow my journey should somehow look different or be better, or you know what I mean, should look more like that person or whatever it may be. But recognizing that we each get to be on our own journey, and we get to actually help create our journey. We're all a part of it, and we get to have a say in that, but we also get to allow ourselves to be on the ride, that, step onto the ride and say, yes, I stepped onto this ride, and allow the process to take place, right? I've been going through that struggle of trying to discover that venom and how to get that out. But my process is not the same as yours, Gwen, right?
Yeah.
Not even close. Yeah. And my husband's, holy cow, completely different, right? Right? We all have these things that we are learning how to cope with and how to deal with, right? And I think it's important for us to allow ourselves to love ourselves and others enough to give them a little bit of leeway, a little bit of flexibility. Whoa, my light is having problems.
What happened?
No, it's I have a light in this room. I have a light in this room that sometimes does a real weird flicker thing, so we got to get that changed out. But allow, ourselves to love ourselves and have compassion, with our journey and with other people's journeys. And I think that's really critical. That's something that I remind myself of often, because I'm still in the place where, more and more I value this earthly experience more and more. But there have been times in my life where I have not wanted to be here.
Yeah.
Not wanted to be here. And there have been several points in my life where that's been the case. And to get myself to the point where I am experiencing more of that gratitude for having this experience is a huge thing for me. It's a huge step for me. And not everyone is there yet. Not everyone is there yet. But I remind myself quite often that I get to have compassion with my journey and with other people's journeys. And that is a part of what obviously I'm here to learn. Because, like there are moments in some people's lives that can be quite challenging, and where they can feel the separation so deeply, and it's so hard for them to see all that is, and it's hard for them to feel the connection with all that is. It's hard for them to see the light that is within, because they have experienced so much darkness.
Yeah.
And so it's a process. It's a process for many people. This journey is, and compassion is really important, a part. And it's hard to receive revelation if we don't have compassion about our journey, because we're not
Yeah.
flexible. We're not open when we don't have compassion.
Yeah. I love compassion. This is one of the major kind of tenets of, the fellowship that I belong to. And compassion, when I think of compassion, for me, it's kind of this recognition that we're kind of all in this together, and we all are doing our best. We're all trying to figure it out. And we've all been given different recipes, and we've all been told it's supposed to look this way, and we've all been given different mechanisms or different ways we think or express, but we're all still in it together, and we're all trying to figure out how to do it. We're trying to figure out the right recipe, right? and and sometimes it's an awkward walk. Sometimes the walk becomes even more painful before it becomes less painful, you know. But that's a part of the walk that we walk. And I've been sitting here listening to you, and my guys have been nudging me, and they just think it's so funny because we're talking about revelation and things being revealed, and this connection to my first book, Our New Story, comes into mind, and the idea of being center stage, and you're on the stage, and you're wearing a mask and you're playing a part, but it's almost like a lot of times we're not wearing one mask, we're wearing several layers of clothes and several masks. And they're like, but hey, why not have fun with the disrobing? What's underneath?
Let's reveal what's underneath next. Let's reveal the next thing.
Ooh, I didn't know there was a hobo underneath there. Ooh, just like really, we can look at it in that way. Just this idea of really, there's so many complex parts of us, and so many experiences that we have and stuff. And as we kind of really start revealing and allowing the emotion and all of these things to roll forward and release, and simply honor the multidimensional, the amazing experiences that we've had, and we can say, well, now I know what it feels like for this to happen, and I'm going to this is how I'm aligning myself with love now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this is kind of naturally what subconsciously and unconsciously can be happening within our system is we open in joy and gratitude, like you said, and we're just like, hey, this is something that's happening. Let's walk through it. All right, what's underneath here? What's next going to be showing up? I have got heels on now, and I'm a sexy butcher. I don't know why, but this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And in essence, recognizing that we're playing roles, we're playing parts to have experience, right?
Yeah.
To have experience. Yeah. And to come into our knowingness and recognition of ourselves. This is one way we can look at it if we choose to, right? It's being a part of revelation. I'm revealing myself, right? I'm revealing what I am. And there's so many layers to it. So I think that that's funny. Do you have something else to say? Because I know that my guys wanted to end with a little bit of a channeling, but
no, I just anyone who's watching this, lots of love to you, compassion to you, and we hope that you can walk forward and experience more and more revelation in your life. And so that's what I have to say, Gwen. So you end it all, and we'll be good.
Patoon. Okay, I'm going to take a little drink here.
Okay.
And I'll check in with my guides. Oh, they're already jumping in. They're They're cute.
They're all excited, huh?
No, they're actually, the ones that are here right now, they're Arcturian. Arcturians are serious and to the point. They're more of a just, okay, this is generally how I experience them. They're like, very good impression of us, Gwen. That's what they say to me. All right. So we will enter into our communication with you as we traditionally have, and many of your guides do, by saying, we are here, we are here, we are here, and we watch over you at this time and are very connected and are pleased to see you have opened in the way you have, Gwen, and are rejoicing in the joy in your life and the many gifts that have come to you. And these have come to you through your dedication, as you have spoken of your dedication and love, you walking forward in action, things you know that are right and that you desire. And thus, many things are opening to you and are being revealed. One of these things that are being revealed are the ways you have held back yourself from love in your life, from enjoying life in the ways that you can. And so we are here simply being with you, encouraging you to open into this enjoyment of life. And as you walk forward in enjoyment of life, what will be revealed to you is the magic of what is, and that you being in joy of your life expands it into a beautiful cosmic experience, one beyond anything your ego could manage or try to make happen. You will be blessed in ways that you could not even believe. Yes. So we are inviting people into a spirit of revelation in order for them to see the true bounty that is available to them in their lives. There are those who would make you believe, or try to make you believe, that there is not enough for all, that we have to suffer, that we do not have the food we need, that we do not have the housing that we need. In fact, we have much and we have more than we need. But there are those who would withhold, and there are those who would separate themselves. And so the bounty that is here is not revealed to them in their lives. It does not show up for them to experience it. There is a trick for you to be able to walk in the bounty of all that is. Believe. Now, this sounds over simple. Yes, as Arcturians, we get straight to the point. And oftentimes we do not see the complexities or consider the complexities in all of the steps that one must take in order to do so. But just as you have sat with the Buddha and as the Buddha, Gwen, you may sit as the bounty of the world. You may sit and take action from that space of bounty. You may choose it in your life. And as you sit and make space for it in your life, making decisions and taking action from that space, not allowing yourself to continue to take actions from the space of worry, of the idea of limitation, of fear, you are stepping into the bounty that you desire to experience. There are great minds who speak and express it in this way. Abundance is always here, but we just simply must identify what we are investing in or creating abundantly in our world. For one may create abundantly the idea of fear or the idea of lack. But can we not say that there is an abundance of that feeling if we are creating it abundantly? Why, yes. We may turn our heads on this and simply say, as we rise in the morning, What am I investing in? Life that is so bounteous and beautiful. Reveal to me the ways my mind has not been able to see, and I will step forward in joy with thee. Yes, it is a simple rhyme, but it is a simple prayer and a simple attitude that we may have within ourselves. We encourage you, Gwen, to continue being in this love, this gratitude, and walk forward, allowing the truth of it to be revealed to you. And so we encourage all who are here with this simple principle, this simple idea, this simple test that you might try out in your life, and allow yourself to see when you sink back into habits, or you may see patterns that would work against this idea, would work against this energy. And then you can simply ask, how may I let this go? Please reveal to me some ways I may let this go. Please reveal to me the cure of this poison. These are some ways you may do it, but there are vast ways you may do it. We are simply offering you some choices and some options. You have covered this topic well. Gwen and Grace, we honor you as well being here. And we invite all who are listening to write down some of the principles you feel are important concerning revelation, for you to journal about it in your journal or in your notebook. And then simply, if you please, if you desire to, take simple action. Take action on one or two principles and see how your world opens for you. We leave this in love with you and in a blessing to all who are here listening and here. We bless you to feel love and joy in your life, even if it is for a moment, for you to know what it is. And as you step forward, know that as you walk through the dark shadows, you will come out the other side, and you in love and light shall be revealed as such. Enjoy taking off the clothes, unwrapping and revealing your true self to all that is. Blessings. Aho. So there we are. Oh,
we have Sharon, the Red Baron here. Woohoo!
Oh, Sharon. Oh, that's great. That's so great. So nice to see you, Sharon. I hope you listen in on about the principles of revelation. And I know you jump into revelation. You're all about that, girl. You flow through life excited about what you're going to see, from one minute to the next. So excited for you to be here, and please check it out once we're done. And all who are here, we know that you are jumping into life, seeing what's new, seeing what you can discover. I love that. I love that joy. So
I love that. I love her respond. Yep, ready to kick some epic, in a good way. Woohoo!
Excellent. Kick some excellent.
There we go. That's the way to do it, Sharon.
Yeah, she's got this really beautiful community thinking tank going on. If anyone doesn't know what that is, check it out. And really, it's about community. Us coming together as community. We're powerful together. And
all right.
We believe in each other. So let's.
Gwen, you froze up. What happened to my twin? Gwen is frozen up right now, everyone. So we'll see if she... Thanks, mamas. Wonderful, Sharon. Oh, that's so sweet. Gwen is frozen for some reason. And so I guess I get to end this live stream for everyone. And just blessings to everyone. I hope you have a wonderful evening or day whenever you're watching this. And we hope that you join us soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.